when we drink, like we'll start out, we'll be having a drink, whatever, and then as the podcast goes on, you hear us cutting each other off more, which, like you said, we really need to work on.
It's really
you hear it's like we really start dragging out our words and getting loud. Like I have noticed that.
Oh yeah, and since I've been like, especially with serious shit, because I've been doing the editing and I'm actually like listening to it from beginning to end, because I love the 2 episodes we got up so far. Yeah, no, it gets pretty bad. But yeah, well, we're not gonna drink, but I guess we could watch it.
Bit. We need to stay away from liquor. Or you need to stay away from liquor.
No. Bob starts getting quiet.
Yeah. He'll start getting quiet. You'll start getting loud and tangenty, and I just sit back and watch.
And then all of us cut each other off when Bob does finally speak up. He's like,
it's so bad, and like we've done that since day one too. And I know we've had so many meetings about we really got to work on cutting each other off.
We'll try to put like a. Yes, I say we'll try because we fail at all the other rules that we make, like being here on the correct days and times. But yeah, we could be like, here's our limit: 3 or 4 beers tops.
Yeah.
For all 4 of us, because we can put them away. I mean, definitely me and Bob could just like slam them down.
Well, in your home, you don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I need to be more aware of that. Like, we're doing a podcast. Like, I am in my own home, and I don't have to hold back, but I should.
You should also remember.
I say that as I'm holding 2 beers in each
double fist,
because I'm about to finish this one and move on to the next one.
Oh, but I tell you what, man, on days like today, nothing beats a cold beer.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that right after we say, hey guys, welcome to Serious Shit, the show where we seriously don't talk about shit. My name is VinTheHuman, Vincent Herman.
I'm James Odle, Alphaspecter.
Again, we are joined not by Bob.
I don't know if you guys have noticed this or not, but he has been getting kicked off of Facebook regularly.
Oh yeah, and I already sent in a group text.
I saw that just a few minutes ago.
I think we're gonna we need to do a Bob episode just focused on.
We need to do
talking about that shit.
Sort of my Bob update.
No, it's a serious shit episode for sure.
But he keeps getting kicked off for posting like inappropriate pictures. But like the picture that he got kicked off for this past time,
was it the deflated ass?
It was the deflated ass. Okay. It was essentially someone got ass implants and they went wrong, so their ass literally looked deflated, like someone punched it and it just stuck that way.
And here's the thing, I saw it, and I mean, I usually stride through what Bob posts, but that one I was like a little disturbed by. Not like I'm gonna report it.
It was weird looking.
Yeah, it was.
That was the thing.
But then, before I could even think about any offense that might have been taken, any weirdness I might have felt, my brain went into question mode, and I was like, "Why would you wear those shorts out when you know it looks like that?" Did this happen? Did this happen on the day, and you just weren't aware yet? Are the sensory nerves in your ass dead so you didn't know what was going on?
See, that's where your mind went. My mind went to, how did it happen? I'm sitting there thinking, okay, did they sit on some fireworks and someone lit them? did they was it ass implants? Was it what caused this to happen?
I compiled my own list, but there was any number of ways it could have happened. I was just my mindset was how do you not notice? I don't care most days what I look like, but even me, I'm when I get out of the car, I at least throw a hand through my hair, or something, And how do you go that far? You get that far to where you're you know what, my ass is deflated. I don't even fucking care.
I think once you get to the point in life where your ass is deflated, you stop caring.
You know what? That's a fair point.
But that's what got Bob kicked off of Facebook for 7 days this time.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to keep it up. You know he's going to keep pushing.
Of course, it's a personal challenge at this point.
But the thing is, I've seen people post GIFs and links.
I saw tits just yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, full-on tits.
Like,
that woman is still using Facebook.
And the thing is, you know, you see these things, but it's always someone has posted a link to something, and the way that Facebook works now, it'll pop that link up, whether it's a GIF or a picture or something, it'll start doing that now. Whereas if I'm scrolling through on my phone, I'll see the same thing, and it's just, okay, this is a link to Tumblr. I'll click it on my phone. Oh, this chick's raising her shirt and her tits bounce out. Whereas if I'm scrolling through on my computer, oh, look, this chick is raising her shirt and her tits are bouncing out on Facebook. So it seems like the guidelines are a little weird for, like, Facebook bans. But who keeps reporting Bobb? Who does Bobb have on his Facebook that keeps reporting him?
That's my big question here. Is like at one point it was like he got banned 2 times. Fair enough. But you got to question, like, who did he add in that time? Or is it Big Eyes Crazy Chick? We won't say any names. We won't even say last or first name, but you know who I'm talking about.
I don't even think they're friends on Facebook anymore.
Yeah, like, and why wouldn't she block him? Like, that seems like the first thing she'd go for.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
But Bobb is not, his profile isn't private, is it?
It's not private.
Yeah. So she could see this stuff, like, if she just stalked him, which seems right up her alley.
I mean, yeah, and I mean, anyone could do that. So technically, if Bobb's profile is public, and he made these things public posts, a friend of someone who knows Bobb could have seen him. Like, oh my god, I can't believe they posted that. I'm reporting that to Facebook right now.
I hate your accent so much.
Like, but
it made me laugh, so at least there's that.
I feel like that's how these people are acting. It's like, that is offensive. Like, how dare they?
Jesus, goddamn. I like your shoes, by the way. I noticed that a moment ago.
No, the funny thing about this, one of the coworkers that I don't always see eye to eye with, she's a little bit older.
Yeah.
Like, she's like in her 50s. She was at the mall one day and she saw these and she called and asked 2 different people and then me what size shoe I wear. And she was like, okay, thanks, and like hung up. And then she shows up later that evening with these shoes, and she was like, I saw these and I thought of you, and I thought you'd like them, and they were like $5.
I've only had one coworker that did anything just sort of like that for me. Like, and this was a time, like, I had just started the job at Bellisio. It was a few months in, but I started the job at Bellisio and stuff, and I spent a crap ton of money on the kids. Like, I overdid it. I know I did. So I had spent all that money, and my shoes were falling apart. Like, I moved from my Marine Corps boots, and I bought these, like, cheap $15 pair, and they were already falling apart. Like, I mean, I was holding them together with duct tape. And the guy noticed this, and I talked to him a lot because this is one of my buddies, and I had talked to him a lot, and I had made mention that I was going to buy new boots, and it just so happened it was like the Walmart out there is the meeting spot for second shift pack out, more or less, on the day you get paid, because everyone goes there to cash their check, or they go there to pick something up because they just got paid. He was there. And I was checking out my boots, and he rolls up. He's like, it was perfect because he heard the price, and then he just hands me the money. And I was like, what? And this was around December, so he was like, Merry Christmas, man. You don't have to worry about the boots.
Well, that's awesome.
I was like, shit, yeah. At the same time, your shoes have, like, Star Wars ships all over them, so, like, it's kindness awesome, but yours is awesome. So a little torn between which is better, but I really did need those boots, and I'm wearing those boots currently right now. These are my day-to-day boots, and like I said, I've had them for since December, so they're going on 7 months now.
Yeah,
it's a decent pair of boots.
Yeah,
because I was spending the money. Like I was like, I have to buy boots that are not going to expire after 2 or 3 months, like the ones before.
Yeah, like, dude, I used to buy those, the steel-toed shoes that they have at Walmart.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Like, I'd buy those when I worked out at the lumber yard.
These have saved me so many times. Like, where we have the pallet jacks.
Yeah.
I've ran over my foot a couple times in the steel toes.
Dude, I've done that without steel toes on. It sucks so bad.
I'm not about to do that one.
But when I worked out at the lumber yard, I'd wear steel toed. We had to. And at first, I just grabbed my old pair of steel-toed shoes that I used to wear. And within a month of wearing those at this place, not the insole, but like all of the foam and like everything that holds up between the bottom of the shoe and your insole that your foot's on, was just gone. It was just like deteriorated and gone. I don't know if it was because they were a couple years old to begin with, or if it was just how much shit they went through working at a lumber yard. And I dropped a whole thing of 2x4s on my foot once, and thank God for steel toes.
Yeah,
like, you don't realize how nice steel toes are until you actually have them.
It actually becomes a thing. See, I like anytime I bought boots since high school, because that's when I transitioned to boots, was high school. Because I was like, I was goth or whatever. You know what I call it? I'm so fucking goth. Stupid. Anyways, I was so goth that I was like, I have to wear boots all the time, but I wanted the steel toe boots because it was metal.
Dude, that's so metal.
It was so metal. So I would buy those, and like from there on up until the Marine Corps, I wore steel toe boots, and in the Marine Corps, they don't have steel toes in the boots. I was like, wait a minute.
I feel naked.
We're we can wear body armor, but we don't have steel toes.
Okay, so talking about body armor, here's something that actually kind of bothers me about body armor.
Well, I thought we were having a super interesting conversation about boots, but what?
Body armor is great and all. It protects your body as it should. But the military...
One would say it's armor
for your body. Nah. I wouldn't classify it like that.
Well.
But, military personnel, you see them, they constantly have, like, grenades, smoke grenade, like, all these kind of things, like, on the sides of them. And they have their helmet on. But there's nothing on the face.
What military personnel are you looking at that has all this shit? Like, I mean... Oh, well, okay, you've seen a lot of Call of Duty covers.
not just that, like...
Most Marines are not Batman. So,
I mean, you gotta think, they have that utility belt. Can't they just put the 46 grenades in one of those pouches?
Well, yeah.
Or are they not designed by Rob Liefeld?
If the budget cuts wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
We won't get into that because that's political, and we avoid that.
Exactly.
Anyways, you had a story at the top of the show that you were about to go into before I started the intro, and we got really into boots.
What was my story?
I have no idea.
Shit.
Shit. Oh, God, no, I have no fucking idea what your story is.
We talked about not cutting people off.
Yeah, we were talking about the way we do the podcast, which I just had a very long, which we talked about before we started.
We need to not have us. I feel like mumbles like that are acceptable, though.
Well,
And this is another one.
I'm trying. I'm really trying. Anyways, yeah, we talked about podcast conducting, and then we got into Bobb, and I don't know. What have you been watching anything lately?
Actually getting caught up on Supergirl. I have one episode of this season of Arrow left.
Oh, so you're on the most recent season 5.
Yeah. We've been slowly watching Arrow.
So you're to that episode.
We're about to watch the season finale.
They're
tonight.
on the NU and yeah.
So
we won't say no spoilers here. Or
Yeah.
anything. And I'm not gonna spoil that finale for you. But at the end, I was driving home and like I couldn't because I watched TV in my car. So let's get that out of the way. Yes, it's dangerous. I don't do it with the kids in the car. I just do it to try and keep myself awake. Anyways, I was watching that episode and driving, and at the very end of it, the very end of that episode just fucks you up so much because it's a big old cliffhanger, which it's the end of the season, so why not?
Yeah.
But it's a cliffhanger I don't think you see coming. I didn't I was like the whole time I was being real shitty about it, and I was trying to call they're gonna do this or they're gonna do that and I'll be fine, whatever. And then it'll lead off with some sort of cliffhanger with Deathstroke, and that's what I thought was gonna happen because you're to that.
Yeah. I've seen the mask on. Yeah.
So that's what I thought was gonna happen. So fucking far left from what I thought was gonna happen. So yeah, and I couldn't turn on another episode because I was so fucked up by that episode. And it was the same thing when I saw the Flash finale.
Oh god,
I was
happened
like,
with the
whoa.
Flash finale?
Have you made it there?
We finished it. What happened at
there? I will say this because I don't want to say it on the podcast.
Well, it's been a few weeks.
There is death in every single CW season finale so far that I've watched.
Like
I don't know
I remember.
There's so much death in Supernatural's season finale. There's death in Arrow's season finale. Just letting you know. There's death in the Flash's season finale. Honestly, I think DC's Legends of Tomorrow was the happiest ending.
I think so.
Of the end of these seasons.
God, what happened at the end of Flash? Was that
I think
the one...
someone dies in the end of iZombie too. I don't know. If iZombie is over.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember what happens. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
it's basically a death.
Are you watching anything else though, other than superhero shows right now?
Not really. Unless you count like Word Party and.
What the fuck is Word Party?
I have kids that take over Netflix.
What the fuck is Word Party though?
It's a little cartoon that I don't even know. I know the name of it. I know they sing a little bit and they talk about, well, what's this word mean? Well, this is...
You know what you should have them watching? Super Y.
She loves that show. She's watched every single episode of that show.
It's about reading. It's about superheroes. Dude, I'm all about it. Yeah.
She is on a 4th grade reading level. Hey, she just got out of kindergarten.
My kids are as average as could possibly be. I love them to death, but their advancement level is nowhere near advanced.
I feel like she's gonna be on that 4th grade reading level until about the 4th grade. So
you fear that. You never know. I mean,
I fear she's gonna get bored.
Were your parents really pushing reading? Were they
on me?
Were they readers? Because they seem more like in the moment rockers.
Yeah, well,
they were all about the music.
There was a lot of that. I loved reading though, because my love of reading came really early.
Yeah.
But my love of reading is in the fantasy and science fiction genre.
Yeah.
All the Animorph books.
And ours was a good generation for that.
Yeah.
Because we had trading cards and we had fucking book series. And those were
great.
The big things. And then when you could catch what you could catch on TV. When you could catch it. Yeah. Because we didn't have DVR. We didn't have...
You either had to set up a Netflix tape to record it or hope to catch it on a rerun at some point. And that's
if you had
a VCR.
That VCR where you could set that up.
See, I remember doing that for a TV show that came on at 6:30, I think, in the morning. It was called, I think, Mummy's Alive. And it was another one of those typical, like, you've got your Ninja Turtles, you've got your Street Sharks, so, like, you have all the spin-offs of Ninja Turtles. These were mummies, and
I'm only I had a couple action figures of those. That's all I know about them because I knew the show existed. I'd seen adverbs for the show, and not adverbs. I'd seen
advertisements.
I tried to shorten it. I tried to get in with the young crowd.
You could have just said ads. No,
that's too short.
Okay,
that's too mainstream.
Adbees.
Adbees. There you go. There you go. Now, if we start hearing Adbees, we know where it started. Right here.
I really hope we don't ever hear that.
We will.
I know.
Anyways, I never really set things to record. And I'm only just realizing this now as I was thinking about it while you were talking. I was very on to the next thing. I wanted to fit as much into a day as I could. Like, I wanted to be very productive.
Yeah.
In my bullshit playtime of things that didn't matter. Yeah, so I was always on to the next thing. So if I wanted to watch a TV show, that had to happen at that time because I don't have the time to and this is me at like 10 years old. I don't have the time to learn how to program a VCR to record my shit. So if I'm gonna record it, I'm gonna record it at the time it's on. And then I'm not even really going to record it because I'm just going to watch it. But I did have, I have an entire tote full of, like, recorded VHS tapes. But that didn't start happening until I was, like, 14.
Oh, man. Dad recorded that 70s show religiously.
Right? And, and you think about it now, you're like, a lot of good that did. Like, because when am I popping in these... We did this at spur of the moment. I didn't think to silence my phone. We were like really rushing to set this up because we didn't record anything yesterday. Oh God, fuck you. I don't care about my friend request. Anyways, there you go in that chair. Anyway, yeah, no, because I've got tons of movies on VHS. And they're in my storage unit, and I know they're there. And I don't mess with them. And I'm not going to bring them out.
But you're not going to get rid of them.
Yeah, I'm not going to get rid of them. I think the only thing I brought out of that whole tote was WrestleMania 18. Because I was really jonesing to watch it. And it's hard to find on DVD online. Which is weird. At least at the time I was trying to find it. And I was like, fuck it. I have it on VHS. I'm just going to go... pick it up. And so I popped that in because I was jonesing for some older wrestling, and that's my favorite WrestleMania so far. So, but we did it. I did it again. And I'm not really going to be editing this for us. So I don't have a lot of time to do it tomorrow. God damn it! And I'm almost out of beer. Oh shit! Oh shit, Odle. So, anything you want to bring up, talk about on the podcast? While we're we were really doing this just to have something this week.
You mean like on the podcast that we record the podcast, or on this? Podcast?
No, I mean, if we did that, we'd have to pop on Facebook and see what articles.
Is there anything that I personally want us to talk about next weekend?
On sort of my podcast.
Yeah. Or are you just talking about bullshit right now?
I mean, we'll either do a sort of my update for Wonder Woman, but we'll more than likely just work it into the sort of my podcast full episode. You might see right there, I've got some books set aside for sort of my podcast to talk about.
I too.
We did that last episode. We talked about doing your nerd room, so we can't do that. Although we did organize comics.
Yeah.
In between that, yeah. So the nerd room is not done. We
far from it.
So it turns out we could get the collectibles and everything done in one night. But we're so far from having the comics organized.
I'm
And
gonna
that's
have to.
totally fucking your fault.
Oh, 100%.
So much your fault.
So to give you guys a little bit of insight, I have six or seven short boxes. No,
Yeah, maybe.
Eight short boxes
At the
of just
least.
completely unorganized comics. Now, the other night, we went through a long box and probably at least 2, maybe 3 short boxes worth of comics.
And now,
they
when
hadn't
we
even
say
made it from the bag when I purchased them to a box.
Yeah, they were sitting all over, like, in piles. From where we did organize the collectibles in the nerd room, like, we had taken the bags of comics and set them off to the side. And then the
so they
others
were all together.
And then all the other loose comics were just piled up. We just piled them up off into the corner.
And going through, I'd say no less than 400 or 500 comics.
Probably more. I'd say more.
Because how much does a
long box
is
holds
what,
like
$350?
No, way more.
A short box is what?
200, I'd say. I don't know. We'll look this up.
I'd say a long box is $350 to $400, and that long box
No,
wasn't.
I think it's
full.
way more. I think it's way more.
No, it's
We'll look this up after the recording, but anyways, we did
500 comics.
an entire short box and at least 2 or 3 short boxes, which is a lot to just go through and sort and stuff.
And weeding some out to add to the future sort of my comic shop fodder.
Yeah,
some that I'm gonna sell off online, stuff like that. And I still have so many to go through. What we went through.
So many to go through. What's the deal with comic books? Well, you got to sort these ones over here, but you got to sort these ones over here. No, it's fucking terrible. I was really hoping you'd stop me at some point, but no.
No, I wanted to see how that played out.
You just let me go down with that shit.
But yeah, we have.
For a moment, I was confident in an impression, and it didn't work.
It was working, and the longer it went, the more downhill.
The further I got in. That's kind of like my Arnold impression. Me and my brother used to, because of Mad TV.
Yeah.
We used to do Arnold impressions all the time.
I still do.
Just terrible.
I do them at work.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
People don't expect it.
Give us one on the podcast.
A good Arnold impression on the podcast.
Something you do at work.
Well, since I cook and I do a lot of baking and stuff at work, I guess I go, put the cookie down now. And I'll just.
I feel like that was way too loud for us, but still.
I've done that before. I woke up on one of the servers getting a cookie off of the rack, and I did that, and they jumped and dropped the cookie on the floor. We
used to do. They had the sketch on Mad TV where it was it was called Stolen Identity 3, but it was like the first. He was like. He changes his mind mid-sketch. He was like, Stolen Identity. And it's like, better yet, it's Stolen Identity 3. Because the sequels make much more money at the box office. And he did that stuff. So we'd do stuff, and I'd be like, Travis, is this your skateboard? And he'd be like, that's not my skateboard! It's your skateboard! Like, how can it be my skateboard? And I'd pull out another skateboard. This is my skateboard! And then we go, he's got, oh my god, the bar. I'm sorry for anyone who's listening to this. And just heard, their ears started bleeding. But, whatever. That's an Arnold impression in close quarters to a laptop microphone.
So deal with it.
Yeah. We used to have a lot of fun with that. And I showed you the Elvis sketch. Yeah, we used to do that one all the time too. I'd just walk in and be like, I can see through metal, boys. That's no lie.
Oh man. Dude, I was talking to someone the other day, and it's like, holy shit, I've been out of high school for almost 11 years now, and I'm like, God, I can remember shit from high school, and I can remember acting a certain way from high school, and like right after I graduated.
Strap in, guys, because 3 podcasts in, we're talking about fucking high school for the second time. I feel like that's like applicable though for people who are turning 30. I feel like this is the age you really start looking back on high school.
Well, because it's like, nah, 18. I was 18 just the other day. No, motherfucker, you're getting old.
Yeah. No, and I'll do things, and I never used to think about them. Now I'm thinking about them. Like I'll run up steps 2 steps at a time. I started doing that in high school, and then they had us doing that in the Marine Corps, so it just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And yeah, I when I do that nowadays, I'll be like, "You're too old, man," because I'll feel it.
You get to the time,
you're like, stop doing that. But yeah, and I'll jump off the porch, or like I'll do something that involves like skipping a step, and I'll think about it right afterwards, and I'll be like, "Yeah, no, you can't do that anymore." Like,
yeah.
You wonder why you're sore all the fucking time. Stop climbing over fences.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you start to think about those kind of things.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're in our late 20s, pushing 30, and here we think, nah, we just got out of high school not too long ago. And then you get around people who are just out of high school, and you're like, fuck no, I didn't just get out of high school. I'm an adult.
Yeah, and I'm still listening to a lot of the same music. There's
too.
very few songs and bands on my phone that I listen to in the car that are newer. I think one I was listening to the other day, Highly Suspect. That was it. And that's a difficult band for me anyways, because there's one band that makes me think about an ex-relationship, there's one song that makes me think about an ex-relationship in a different way. There's 5 other songs that make me think about the same relationship in a very sexual way. And that's only because we ended up doing it in the backseat of her car, almost during the entirety of the album.
That's fair.
But it was really nice and sweaty.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was good. I'm not good at telling sex stories. All I could be is it was sweaty. It was midsummer. It was in the back of her car. That music was playing. Yeah, but it was fun. It's not a bad memory, but it's not something you should associate with half of those songs.
Right. Well, that's talking about songs like that. The song "Closer" by 9 Inch Nails, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the Mario remix for that?
No. What?
I will play it for you after we're done.
Okay.
Once you hear it, though, you can never hear the song "Closer" any other way.
Send me a link to it, too. We'll play it, but send me a link to it, and I'll put it in the description of this so our listeners can pop on down and ruin their lives.
And the thing is, this is one of those songs I heard, junior, senior year, something like that. This version of it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is it fits. Everything about this just makes sense.
And I love that song on its own, too.
Yeah. It's a great. We were on our way to Ashland, and it came on the radio. I started humming some Mario music with it, and she was like, "Yeah, that fits really well."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh my god, you haven't heard the Mario remix, have you?" So I plugged in my radio converter on my phone, played it through YouTube, and it struck a memory chord with me.
I think maybe that's the best part of nerd relationships is infecting people with the other things they haven't experienced yet, but they're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing is when you're in a relationship with totally normal chick or maybe even a preppy chick. I don't know how many of those you've had, because most of the women I've seen you with is nerdier girls. But I've had a few of those, and then you show them this thing, and there's that little gap, that moment where they're thinking of what to say or how to react. And maybe it's even just for a split second, but you see it and you know. It's the worst. You're just wow, I just wasted so much of my girlfriend's time, and like my stock just lowered.
Yeah.
My girlfriend. So yeah, that's a really good thing too. Another thing I just added to my phone was a lot of Soundgarden and Audio Slave.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately,
in memory.
Yeah, in memory of him,
Chris Cornell.
Yeah, shit. I kept thinking Chris Kroger. But I know. I was thinking of Chad Kroger for some reason.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And I'm a couple. Like I had a couple before you got here.
Yeah.
So my memory's a little shoddy. But
okay,
yes,
I'll give you that.
Chris Cornell. If you haven't heard, he died. But I'm surprised if you're listening to this and you haven't heard that news. But yeah, he was one of the first CDs I had was off of one of those little sheets you get in the mail. Like 50-cent CDs if you buy this one at full price. And my mom was getting like a ton for herself, of course. My mom was a big like hippie and music fan and stuff too. So she was getting a ton for herself, and like I think I picked out A-sides from Soundgarden. I had to have it. And the only song I really knew was Black Hole Sun at that time. And when I got the album, did my horizons broaden. But I think I also got the Spider-Man soundtrack. Yeah, for the first Tobey Maguire. That was a great soundtrack.
I think we actually picked that up too. No. For the first Spider-Man movie, I actually have. It's out at Mom and Dad's, but it is a collector's edition box. What? Like, I mean, the box is every bit as big as your laptop is. And it had the DVD, it had some booklets, and it had some other stuff. I'll have to grab it next time I'm out there.
Back when they really put effort into those box sets.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, I remember the Mummy Trilogy. The first time I picked up the Mummy Trilogy, it was in this really cool collector's edition case where it opened up like a trifold opening up kind of thing. Yeah. And it was textured. And it wasn't Velcro. Like, it wasn't like the thin cardboard
Velcro.
They do that
sometimes. Like, my Back to the Future set has like a Velcro door on it.
Yeah, but this was, like, it was magnetized.
Nice.
And it was, like, a real good, thick plastic. Like, the whole case was. And it had that, the interior, like, snapped in. It had the images underneath of it. Yeah. It was so nice. I don't know what the fuck happened to it. I think an ex took it or something.
Well, I was just at Walmart today, and I saw the new Mummy Blu-ray set that they released. And they had two different Mummy Blu-ray sets.
I didn't know that was already released on DVD.
Yeah, they had a Blu-ray set for... No, not the new one. Oh. It was the three films with Brendan Fraser and then the Scorpion King.
Oh,
and they had a Blu-ray set, and it's literally just a slipcover, and then the case, and you got the discs in there. And then they had another Blu-ray set that was just the three Brendan Fraser movies. It's the exact same thing, but without the Scorpion King, and I think it had more special features. And that, you're just talking about that. I've got so many cool special editions, and you rarely see them like that anymore.
You don't anymore. Like, the best thing that you're going to
get... Star Wars is really
Star Wars will, but the best thing that you're going to get is going to be a good Steelbook now.
Yeah.
Like, that's about...
And they're putting way too much stock in Steelbook. Who's buying these religiously? Because I like Steelbook. I wish I had the Star Wars copies once.
Yeah.
Because that would have been great, but I didn't have the money at the time. But... Steelbooks, I'm so afraid of them because I loaned Beyond Two Souls to someone at one point, and I trusted them to keep the game nice, and they did, but they brought it back and it had the steel case because I pre-ordered it, and the steel case had all these scuffs and scratches on it, and I know I'm going to take care of mine, but like anything can happen.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you've got a defaced friggin' case.
Well, it's defaced, they can get dented and everything else. Yeah. All that can happen to them, whether you're moving.
And what, you're pulling it out for like 2 seconds worth of gratification before you pull the disc out and put it in the system? Or whatever, like whether we're dealing with movies or
you end up like one of those people on like infomercials and shit,
Yeah.
where you go to get the disc out and the case flies out of your hand and into the blender or something.
I've been seeing so many of those memes,
Oh,
those video memes of how do people survive in infomercials.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my favorite one is the one where she opens the cabinets and all these plastic bottles fly out of it.
Yes.
It's like, why were you storing them there? And how did you get the last one in perfect?
Well, like, I know.
Again, I think of too many questions.
Well, that, and then it's like the person pouring a jug of juice and they fall.
Yeah.
They fall.
There were some in there that I got it. Like the kid pouring I've been front row and center for that one. I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many where it's
like the guy
shit,
with all of the car wash equipment. He has literally everything in his arms. Hose that is on and ready to use included, and he goes to his car. He falls onto the hood. Soap flies everywhere. The hose kicks on. I'm like, how does that make sense to anyone?
They went to the Mr. Magoo school of dealing with life.
Or
terrible.
the guy eating popcorn, his soda, and all that.
Yeah,
that was a classic.
Well, I think this is a good place to end this. We're coming up on our 45 minutes, and like I said, I'm not going to edit this too much. So what I do edit will be really close to 45 minutes anyway. So I don't feel unsafe saying that, because I've said that the last 2 episodes that I had to cleverly cut out me mentioning how far we were in. Because by the time I'd gotten to that point, I'd cut so much space and ums out.
That's why I always tried to avoid mentioning time, like, hey, or saying, hey guys, we're an hour and 10 minutes in, we need to...
That's why we had the whole hand signal where we tapped the watch in the beginning, and we've abandoned so much of that. We need to really rein it all back in.
We really...
I feel like we did good on the beer this time. You only had the one. You're about to go home anyway, so yeah. But I'm at least 4 or 5 in.
Yeah.
Comparatively, because I had 2 of these 16-ounce bottles. 2 of them is almost 3 beers alone. Yeah. So, yeah. But anyways, thanks for listening to this episode that we kind of did at random. This was supposed to be a sort of my podcast, but Odle couldn't be here on the day, which he let me know about. And Bob couldn't message me back or answer a phone call or anything.
Well, no, he said the other day... Well, because he actually did say something, but he never said anything about not being here. He did tell you that he was having that big family yard sale this weekend.
Yeah, oh my god, that's true. And I didn't correlate it with the podcast because he never directly said the podcast. And that was the
that's
same
what
thing
happened with me. It's like, hey,
shit,
I can't do my yard sale, so...
I felt all salty about it now, and now I feel like an asshole, even though I haven't really said anything to him about it. I feel like an asshole about things that I thought. Anyways... Yeah, thanks for watching this. You guys can like us on...
Or listening, if this isn't on YouTube yet.
You guys can like us, the Sort of My Podcast, on Instagram or Twitter. You can follow the Sort of My Comics page on Facebook. Sort of My Brand is also on Facebook. And I'm actually finally putting in the work on the Sort of My Brand YouTube page. Soon I'm going to bring all these podcasts over there. I'm going through and deleting the stuff. This is terrible. And my God, has this been a cringe fest. It's been so terrible. My name is Vincent Herman, VinTheHuman.
I am James Odle, Alphaspecter.
Thank you again for listening to this, and I hope you join us on the next one. We still don't have outro music.